Welcome back to the Malt YouTube channel, Homebrewers. It is the first weekend of 2025 and I'm sure you're all thinking about what homebrew projects are on the horizon for you this new year. Well, Rob and I have got one that's right up your street and we're going to be talking about how to use tap towers to build the ultimate home dispense setup.
Yes, James, new year, new projects. At the back end of last year, we did our smallest kegerator with the NukaTap Minis, those dinky little NukaTap Minis, which we absolutely love. That is one way of making a kegerator or home dispense system.
And that everything we covered in that video is scalable up to larger fridges.
Absolutely.
We've got other kegerator builds on the channel as well, where we've kind of gone through the doors, put taps on the doors, and it works really, really well.
I've built kegerators before that I've, for home use actually, where I've gone through the doors. It works really well, it's really simple to do. However, it's not always the best way and it does have some disadvantages.
Yeah, that's right. I think, you know, having the shanks going through the door can sometimes get in the way of the kegs that are inside the fridge. You've got the beer line that then kind of battles a little bit with the gas line and has to kind of go up and round depending on your fridge. But
especially if you're tight for space.
Yeah.
And then every single time you open the door, close the door, you've got the lines moving around, maybe putting some pressure on some fittings. So it works really well. It's nice and easy to do. Like we say, it's not always the best way. That's where this bad boy comes in, because I love tap towers.
Yeah, so do I. And these are, well, the same as any kind of home dispense system. It'll work with a fridge, many fridges. It'll work with a kegerator. It'll work with a keezer. You know, if you're going to be converting a chest freezer into a home dispense setup. But other than looking really cool, what are some of the practical advantages of a tap tower?
Well, it actually allows you to think outside of having to serve directly from the cooling vessel, be ever what that is. So you could actually have a fridge that's mounted under a counter and then the tap tower on top of the counter.
Yeah.
So it just means drilling a small hole in the top of the fridge, a small hole in the counter to be able to pass the lines through, 4 self-tapping screws straight into the counter, and there you go.
Yeah, and I mean, I've even seen some people where they've got like a fridge or a freezer in the room next to kind of their kitchen or where they like to serve their beer from, and they've got a line going through the wall and then up through the counter as well.
Actually, in basic terms, it can be remote from the cooling vessel, which makes, well, it just means that other installation possibilities are there.
They are a little bit fiddly though, right? The actual building of one of these. So what we wanted to do was take you through today, actually one of the questions we get asked a lot, which is how to put these together. So we're going to take you through that. We're going to talk you through the ways to build it. We're also going to talk about the taps that you can use with the tap towers that we sell and also some of the different configurations that are available. So let's jump into the different configurations that we currently sell of this tap tower. Rob, what have we got?
We do the 2-tap version and we do the 3-tap version. We could have done the single tap version, but I just can't think of an application where someone's going to only want 1 keg, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to want to expand to 2 and then they're going to have to change tap towers. So yeah, no, the 2 and the 3.
Okay, we have also actually used some of these with one of our coffee suppliers, Cupper's Choice, and helped them get some cold brew nitro dispense system set up. The other cool thing about these is they're in a really nice satin brushed stainless steel, aren't they? Which just looks so smart.
I really like it. I mean, they're very popular on some of the ready-built kegerators is the polished stainless. You know, they look great. They don't look as good as this. That just is fantastic. I love it. It's such a professional finish.
Let's talk about taps then. So what taps might you be able to use with these tap towers?
Okay, so this is a Kegland product, so it works with the NukaTaps.
Yep.
Either the flow control or the standard stainless steel NukaTaps.
Not the NukaTap Minis?
Not the NukaTap Minis, no, because they work on a completely different shank basis. It will also work with the ultra taps.
Yep.
And it will also work with the non-flow control Perlix.
Right, okay, so actually the compatibility is there for a wide range of taps. If you've already got some taps, maybe you've got a kegerator that you've already built, that you've gone through the door and you want to upgrade to a tap tower, you may well be able to use this with your current taps, which is really nice.
The compatibility comes from the shanks have a knurled,
yeah, like a toothed inner, and then the taps have got the matching tooth as well.
side. So if those two don't match, if they don't like mesh, it's never going to fit. So those taps that all of those taps that we've just mentioned all work absolutely perfectly. Now, without doubt, it can be a little bit fiddly to actually construct these. You really have to think about what you're doing and do some things in the right order, because otherwise, if you don't do that, you put it all back together and realise the trim ring down the bottom here doesn't fit over once you've got the taps in place.
Yeah.
So actually what you end up doing is completely disassembling the whole unit and then starting again.
Yeah, so there's a very sort of distinct order to do this in, right? But I guess before you jump into any of the build, you need to make sure that you can fit it to your kegerator or your countertop, and that you have made the necessary holes through those surfaces. Now, it's important to note that we can't guarantee that every fridge out there in the market that you might be thinking about putting one of these on doesn't have cooling in the top.
Well, you say that, James, but I've never come across one that has cooling in the top.
No.
So basically, James, we haven't bolted this one to the table, but
No.
the whole idea is it's going to be bolted to a surface, be whatever that fits in with your system. So actually, all that's required is a big enough hole where this is sitting for either 2 or 3 beer lines to drop through.
Yeah, the hole does not need to be as big or as wide in diameter as this at all. You could get away with, an inch across.
Just bigger than or you could drill individual holes for each line.
Yeah.
So that's really not a complicated process. So the first thing to do, get everything out of its packaging, all unwrapped, all on the countertop, so you can see exactly what you're doing. You take the cap off of the tower.
Yep.
Actually, you'll notice in there it's insulated as well.
Yeah,
there's like high density foam in there, which
Yep.
is really handy. Now you need to slide the trim piece over the top at this point. I do it right now so I don't forget.
That bit there, yeah. It's worth noting as well, if you want to, if you've already got your beer line holes all lined up in your fridge or your countertop, you could actually fix this to that surface at that point. It will give it a bit of stability whilst you're kind of fitting all the other components.
Yeah, depending on the location of it and your actual setup, it could be much easier to have it already screwed to the countertop.
It also comes with a really nice gasket, doesn't it, to sit underneath the stainless steel base, just to give it a little bit of something to bite to in case that surface isn't quite 100% level.
Yeah, that's it. Next, I would be assembling the shanks. Now you'll notice on the shanks there is a curved chromed plastic collar piece. Now that goes on the outside of the tower. On the inside of the tower is the curved white plastic piece, followed by the stainless steel back nut.
Yep. Also on the back of the shank, you'll see that the stainless steel kind of line in is at a 90-degree angle as well, right?
And actually it's a duo-type fitting. So supplied in with the kit is the duo-type fitting that pushes onto the back of the shank and accepts the 8mm beer line that's also included.
At this point, you should have the shank with the back nut and the white piece of the kind of assembly that holds it into place off. You've fitted your duo-type fitting onto the stainless steel elbow.
Yep.
Then what's next?
Then you need to fit your beer line to the duo-type fitting.
So hang on, you're saying I need to fit the beer line before I fit the shank?
Yes, I am, because it's very difficult to push the beer line. Once the shanks are fitted, it's very difficult to push the beer line fully home in the duo-type fitting.
Ah, okay.
So it definitely needs to be that. It needs to be done that way round. We've also got to think about both the white trim piece that goes on the inside and the back nut that goes on the inside, because that has to go up the beer line.
Okay.
Like I said, it is pretty fiddly, but actually when you're doing it, you can work out what you're doing. It's fiddly, but understandable.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
It's definitely not. I've just done it. So basically, with the white plastic part that fits the curvature of the tower and the back nut, push the beer line through both of those parts and then fiddle it in and tighten up the back nut.
Yeah, and you need to get the dual-type fitting and the elbow through those as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're doing a 3-tap one, always do the bottom one first, because you're not getting to it if you've got the top ones in place. So yeah, always do the bottom one first.
And then once you've got that all down and in line, like you said, you just got to find your way to then do the back nut up, making sure that the front sort of chromed plastic part and the white plastic part are both lined up with the curvature.
Yep.
And then handily, with this kit, you also get supplied a font spanner, don't you?
Yeah, it's a really nice one as well. It's got loads of different functions on it. One of those is to fit the back nut that's on the back of the shank, but it also fits the collar here so they can be done up nice and tightly.
Yeah, so use that spanner to just make sure you nip it up really nice and tight so that these aren't gonna flex as you're using them, because they are gonna take a bit of tension when you're pouring beer. So just make sure they're done up nice and snug.
Next, you need to fit the actual body of the tap to the shank itself. Now this part here, the collar, what you actually want to do is get that a few threads on to the body of the tap first, and then if you push it towards the back of the shank, you'll feel those teeth sort of knit into position. Once those teeth have knitted into position, you can then carry on and do it up.
Yeah.
And then nip it up a bit tighter with the spanner.
And one thing to note, and I've been there when I've done this at home, you can notice once you've done it all up, oh no, my tap's just slightly off.
There's a lot of teeth in there, so yeah, I mean, it's just like one tooth could just put it slightly out. So
and that's dead easy to fix. You just unscrew the collar again, pull it, turn it.
Yeah.
Let the teeth bite up again, tighten it up.
You got it.
And as you said as well, that font spanner means that you can use it on this collar as well. It's got a little notch that allows you to just get the purchase, doesn't it? And just pull it again tight, because that's actually a really important part, because if that's not done up tightly enough, you're going to end up with leaky beer everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because actually the seal is between the body of the tap and the shank, and that's where it is.
Yeah.
Now the kit actually comes with the slender type black plastic tap handles. Actually, we've got others, so it might be that you fancy a bit of a heavier handle, so you could use the black chrome plated one, which got like a real nice weight to them.
Yeah.
We also do a chrome plated one. Actually a bit of a nicer feel, and actually for a bit of a point of difference, we also do the plastic ball type as well. So actually you choose whichever you like.
If you actually are feeling like you want some individuality, we also do the little nut that means that you can fit taps to anything.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Actually, a few years ago, you were trying to make them out of pool balls, weren't you?
We did. Yeah. It was great experiment. You can make a tap handle out of the nice one that people do is staves.
Yeah.
So they get a barrel stave, cut about that section off, and then it's a really cool tap handle.
So a couple of last things on these then, Rob. Something that's worth noting, in the Tap Tower bundle that you get from us when you buy one of these, whether it's a 2-tap or a 3-tap, you also get the gas line, and you also get a splitter for that gas line, so that you've got one gas feed that can feed both your kegs, which I think is just a really nice touch and shows that Kegland have put a lot of thought into providing a kit that is really comprehensive.
Actually, this whole tap tower, what we want to do is try to... A kegerator doesn't have to be a fridge with a tap mounted on the front. Having this idea, it brings it more into the home. Actually, your dispense setup could be something that you're actually like really proud of.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really smart, and it could be, you know, in a place in the house that you're using. It doesn't have to be necessarily hidden away. We've added a drip tray here. Now that's just placed on the side. It can actually be screwed down if necessary, or it could actually be like surface mounted.
Yeah,
so you could actually recess it, so you can actually route out a hole and drop that in, which would be like real professional setup.
Yeah. But like you said, it does mean in this kind of standard, it could very easily be in your kitchen at home. It could be in a home bar setup. It could be in like outdoor cooking area if you're lucky enough to have one of those. It just makes it super professional and not just something that sits in the garage that you have to go to every time you want a pint.
Yeah. If you've got any questions about compatibility or how to set it up in your home, or any other questions about dispense, there's loads on our YouTube channel, but also just let us know on the comments below.
Yeah, we absolutely love hearing your comments and questions, so do let us know. We will come back to you. And of course, if you are a fan of this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. That really helps us out. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, so you can keep up to date with everything we're doing here at Malt Miller HQ. Oh, and if you're not already, there is a link in the description below for you to subscribe to our newsletter so that you can keep up to date with all our news. As ever, have a great brew.
Cheers.